Progold XP Online Tutorial. Topic 4. Properties, Listings and Pendings. This topic will go through properties during the listing and pending phase. We will cover the different areas where property information is held and set up the checklist for tracking to-do items on properties. Enter properties. All of the properties will be in the Work with Properties section in the Properties menu. When you select Work with Properties, it will bring you right into a property search window, and it remembers how you were last searching for a property. There are different options for searching for the property across the top, and in the bottom left corner is a field where information can be entered. In the bottom right corner is a Last button that brings up the last property you were in. New properties will show if there is no agent assigned to the property and if the property has not been accessed in Progold. Once a property has been selected, either double-click on the property or highlight it and click the Retrieve button in the bottom right corner. This will take you into the property record, and in the upper left-hand corner there is a PID field that is the property ID number. Every time a property is entered into Progold, a number is automatically assigned. In the top middle is a filter to allow you to filter the properties by type or date range. In the upper right corner is the number of records. There are red arrows above that allow you to scroll back and forth between these records. Also, in the upper right area are 4 buttons in purple text. New is to manually enter a new property into Progold. Find allows you to access the search screen. Done returns you to the main menu. The Property tab. Notice the many tabs across the top. Right now we're in the Property tab, which is the main listing information on the property, the address, and all the dates. The sales date is the contract date, and the projected date is the projected closing date. OM is the off-market date. The list and sales price are below the dates, and you'll also see the listing and selling offices. If one has not been selected, then it will say Not Assigned. If you double-click in the listing or selling office field, it will bring up the office records. Clicking the New button will allow you to add a new office. The only field required is the name field, and a list of their agents is shown below the office information. On the right side of the screen is the property profile with MLS number, bedrooms, bathrooms, basement, and so on. There are also 2 blank fields that are not labeled. These are bonus fields. There is a setup area in Progold where you can make custom changes, and this is one of the fields that you can customize. You can create your own label for this field and customize the drop-down list. Below these undefined fields are 2 areas for notes. One is used for the showing instructions, and the information entered in this field will also be viewable from the Showings tab. The other holds property remarks and details. In the bottom right corner of the screen is a list of buttons. The Contacts button will list any contacts that inquired on this property. Yard Lock is for tracking the installation and retrieval of yard signs and lock boxes. Link allows you to link one document of one type to each property for further reference. Through the Setup tab, you can specify what type of document you would like to link properties to. The Statement button shows how the money was distributed when the property was closed. Checklist is for using a to-do list of items needed on the property. Items can be scheduled to trigger based on the list date, expiration date, close date, etc. They also show up in a calendar as well as in this tab. Print Profile is a list of every field in the property record and is typically 3 pages long. The Hot Sheet is a 1-page summary of the property information. This is similar to the information you would find on a property flyer. The last button, View GL, shows what was posted to the accounting area for this property. The Agent tab. This tab is where your agent is assigned to the property. This will only show what side the agent for your company is on. When you select an agent, you also have to select a side, listing or selling. You may put as many agents on a side as you need to, but when you have more than one agent on a side, you will need to alter the units to reflect how they will be splitting the commission between them. For example, if I had 2 agents on this property, I would enter 0.5 units for each to designate a 50-50 split. The rest of the information in this area will fill in automatically when the commission is calculated and processed. The Buyer-Seller tab. This tab holds the details on the buyer and seller on this property. The binocular icons next to each allow you to search through the contacts database and pull a contact into the transaction to save extra typing. The other thing it does is to make the connection as to what type of contact this is. For example, a company lead or referral. It will also bring in the fees associated with that contact. Also, to the right of the seller information is a VML emails checkbox. For those with ViewMyListing.com, this checkbox allows the seller to log into the site to view their progress report online. In order for them to do that, the email address is required. Escrow. All escrow monies need to be entered individually in Progold so they can track which properties are holding money. The escrow journal can then be printed out after every transaction on a property to keep in the file as a record. Both escrow deposits and escrow checks are entered through this area. After entering in the transactions, make sure the balance showing is correct. This will be discussed in more detail in another topic. The Marketing tab. The three blue boxes are for holding ad copy for informational purposes or to appear on the ad copy report. At the bottom of the screen, there is a button to run the report which will show all properties with their ad copy appearing in a particular media on a specific day. The bottom half of this screen shows a list of the activity recorded on this property. Depending on the list date of the property, you may or may not see the default property activity in this area. Progold does not add default activity to older properties that were imported into Progold, but will add it when new properties are entered. Activity can be entered directly into this screen, and some of the activity listed in the activity journal comes from other places in Progold. Property inquiries are copied here from the Contacts menu, showings are copied from the Showings tab, and items entered through Batch Marketing are copied here as well. When entering an activity, the date, activity, and media fields must all be filled out. Items can be added to the activity and media fields from this screen by double-clicking in the field and adding a new record in the screen that appears. The Cost field is for tracking the cost of advertising via reports, and the Ad Number field tells the system which advertisement copy to use when it pulls the ad copy report. There are three icons to the right of the activity journal that relate to each of the activity items entered. The yellow stack of coins is for adding a charge to the listing agent's invoice for this item. The two hands shaking icon allows you to pull more information on a property inquiry record, and the View button brings up an expanded view of the activity, including appointment information and notes fields. The last button across the top of the property is Showings, which is covered in the next topic. Click the Done button below the Showings tab to close the property and return